Welcome to Lavel Claytor's Projects with a Purpose. In this episode, we will be working on part 1 of 3, creating a photo album using Microsoft PowerPoint. Let's get started. So the first thing that we want to do, we want to open up Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, if you look at the very bottom of my screen, you're going to see the PowerPoint icon. Now, if you don't see the icon at the bottom of your screen, what you can do is go to the bottom left, and this is where your start menu is. We're going to click on the start menu, and if you look into this column here, what you can do is scroll down until you see the word PowerPoint, and you can open it that way. So here's PowerPoint here. Also, you'll notice that I have it pinned onto a tile, and I can open it this way. So I'm just going to click here. Either way it goes, you will open up Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, once you've done that, you're going to be in the backstage view. And what we're going to do, we're going to click on a blank presentation. Now, once you click on the blank presentation, what we're going to do is go to the Insert tab. Now, once we click the Insert tab, we're going to go to the Images group, and we're going to click the down arrow for Photo Album, and we're going to create a new album. Now, once you've clicked on that, you're going to get the Photo Album dialog box that opens up. And what we want to do is click the button that says File Disk. Now, once we do that, what we want to do is find those images that we want to add to our photo album. So I put mine in a folder called Photo Album, and I'm just going to keep drilling down. And then I have these 12 images that I want to use in my PowerPoint photo album. I'm going to click on one, and I'm going to go to my keyboard, and I'm going to hold down Control and tap my A. And what that's going to do is going to select all of them. Now, what we want to do is go down to the button that says Insert on the bottom right side. And what's going to happen over here in your photo album dialog box, we're going to look at pictures and photo albums. So these are the 12. So we can click on each one of them and see what they are. Now, here's what we want to do is go down to the bottom left where it says Album Layout. And then we're going to go to Picture Layout. We want to know how many images we want per slide. So we're going to go ahead and click the down arrow. And for this activity, we just want one image per slide. Now, once you choose your one picture, right underneath it is the frame shape down arrow. So we don't want it to be a rectangle. We're going to click the down arrow. And I'm going to choose rounded rectangle. And if you notice over here to the right, you're going to see that our corners are rounded. Now I'm going back over to my left. I'm going to click that down arrow. Now, if I want a white frame to go around my image, if you look over here to the right, see how there is a white frame going around the image. I'm going to go back to the down arrow to my left. Now, if I want a black frame, and then you'll see that there is a black frame, and I'm gonna click the down arrow again. If I want the compound frame black, which means you have black and then white and then black going around your image, so you kind of get the gist of it. So I'm gonna click the down arrow. I actually want the white frame. Once I've chosen the simple frame white, I'm gonna go down to the bottom right side of the dialog box and click Create. And give it just a few moments. And what you will notice is that you have a new presentation. This is presentation 2. And then over here to the left, these images are called thumbnails. So we should have 13 thumbnails. So when I scroll down, we have 13. So I'm going to scroll back up. Now, if you want to change the order of these images, what you can do is go down to the bottom right side of your screen to your status bar, and we're going to click on Slide Sorter. Now, once you've done that, you get these mini thumbnails that you can kind of click and hold and move around. So the one that I want to take this one right here, number 4, and I'm going to click and hold and move it over. So see how easy that is? And then the next one that I want to do is going to be the one that is now number 4. I'm going to click and hold. And then I want to do, I need to scroll down a little bit. So this one right here, I want in between the images. These are my children when they were younger. And let me see, is that the order? Everything is good. Wait, let me move this up one. So I'm gonna click and hold and move this. So now I have when they were a little younger, when they're older, and then I have a nice big family and visiting Vegas, and then a little bit more images. So now that we have them organized the way we want them to be, let's go to print to see what it would look like if we were to print it at this moment. I'm going to go to the upper left corner and I'm going to click on File. Once I click on File, in the left column, I'm going to go to Print. Now, once I've gone to Print, what I'm going to do in the second column, so whenever I'm giving instruction, I'll say column 1, column 2, or column 3. So I'm going to scroll up just a little bit. So this is what it's going to look like when it prints. And if you notice, we have all this black color that will print, and that's really a lot of wasted ink. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to our photo album, and the way to do that is in the upper left corner. We're going to click the arrow to take us back. And what I want to do is double click on slide 2. Now, once I double click on slide 2, we're kind of back to the normal view. Now, what I want to do, I want to change this black background to white. One of the ways to do that is to right click on the outside color, and you're going to get a menu. Once you see the menu, we're going to go down to where it says Format Background. And what's going to happen is you're going to get this pane that opens up on the right side. So this would be your Format Background, and this whole section is called a pane. Now, once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and make sure that solid color is selected, and we know it's selected because there's a little circle inside the radial. We're going to go down to color, and then over to the right, we're going to click the down arrow for fill color, and we're going to go down to the theme colors. I'm going to click on white text 1 and see how it gives you, it takes that black color from the background. But if you notice, look over here to your left, you're going to notice that all the other thumbnails still have that black background. Now I'm going to scroll up just a little bit. Now, if we want to make sure that all of the slides have a white background, what we're going to do is go back over here to our right, and we're going to be inside the pane, and we're going to go to Apply to All. But I'm going to show you what the problem is going to be. Apply All. Here's what I want you to do. Look over to the left side of your screen where you see the thumbnail. See how your words were in white? So you're not going to see them. So we're going to make some changes to that. We're going to undo. So we're going to go to the upper left corner of our screen, and we're going to see our arrow that says Undo Custom, and it's going to bring that black background back. So I'm going to click on slide number 1, and I'm going to go in and make some edits to this. So I'm going to put Claytor Family, and this will be the photo album. So I'm going to select these words. And when I select the words, I'm going to get a mini toolbar. And I'm just going to choose the default color red. And then I'm going to go down to the next placeholder, which is our subtitle. I'm going to select those words, and I'm going to choose red from the font color. Now also, I'm going to fix how my name looks, because it should be capital. Oops, sorry. Let's see. All right, now I'm going to click outside of these placeholders, and I'm going to go back to my pane on the right side of my screen, go back to color, and I'm going to click the down arrow for fill color. I'm going to choose that first option of white text 1. Now I'm going to go down to the bottom of my screen and choose Apply to All. Now see how you notice that all of my backgrounds or my thumbnails on the left side are now white. Now, let's see what it's going to look like when we print. Now, we're going to go to the upper left corner of our screen to File, click it once, and then in our first column, we're going to click on Print. Now, when you look at the third column, this is your preview section of what it's going to look like when it prints. So I'm going to scroll down, and you're going to notice that there's this frame going around each of the slides, and we want to remove that. So one of the ways to do that, in the second column under Print, we're going to go all the way down to Slides. Now, directly underneath Slides, right now we're looking at full page slides. That's what we're looking at right here on the right. When we click our down arrow, you're going to get a menu. And what we want to do is take the check mark off of Frame Slides. And now see over here to the right, those frames are gone. I want to add another slide that says 2022. So in my upper left corner, I'm going to click the arrow once so I can get back. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click between slide 1 and 2. And what I'm going to do is insert a blank slide. And now in order to do that, there's a couple different ways to do it, but we're going to stay on the Home tab. In our Home tab, we're going to go to our Slides group. We're going to click the down arrow for New Slide, and we're going to click Blank. So now we have this blank slide here. Now, within the blank slide, what we want to do is insert a WordArt so that we're able to add 2022, and I want it to be a little fancy, so I'm going to add fireworks inside of 2022. So in order to do that, we're going to go to the upper left side of our screen and click on the Insert tab. Once you click on the Insert tab, you're going to go over to your right, and we're looking for the text group. Once you find the text group, you're going to click the down arrow for WordArt. I'm going to choose the third option in the first row because I'm looking for something that is very thick so that I can add an image inside of the numbers. So I'm going to choose this one. And so you don't want to click your mouse again. You just want to go straight to your keyboard, and I'm going to type 2022. Now, once I've typed that, what I want to do is select 2022. I'm going to get the mini toolbar. Now, if for some reason your mini toolbar doesn't open up, what you can do, you can go to your Home tab and then go to your font group. And what we want to do in the first row, the third command is increase font size. So I'm just going to keep tapping that until my 22 is pretty big. I think that's good. Now, if you notice when I move my mouse to the dotted line, see how I get the four-headed arrow with the white arrow pointing in the middle? When I click and hold my mouse, it's going to allow me to move this on my screen. Now, what I'm looking for is the crosshair. And when I say the crosshair, that means that you see the vertical and the horizontal lines at the same time. Now, watch when I move it down a little, you only see the vertical, or if I move it over or up a little bit, you only see the horizontal. I'm looking to see the horizontal and the vertical at the same time. That lets you know that the image is perfectly in the middle of the slide. I'm going to let it go. Now that I have it in the middle, what I want to do is put some fireworks on the inside of these numbers. In order to do that, I have to go to my Drawing Tools Shape Format Contextual tab. Now, once I click on that, what I'm going to do is look down for my WordArt Styles group. Then over to my right, I want to fill the text. So I'm going to go to Text Fill, click that down arrow, and I'm going to go down all the way down here to where it says Picture. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to get the Insert Picture dialog box that opens up. And we'll give this just a few moments to open. Okay, so the Insert Picture dialog box is open, and what I want to do is go down to Bing Image Search. I'm going to click inside Search Bing. I'm going to type fireworks. And I'm going to press my enter key. Now, once the images come up, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit and I want to find something that's very vibrant. So I'm going to choose this image. Now, none of these images belong to me. I'm just choosing them as a way of demonstrating how to do this procedure. You want to always make sure that you're given permission to use someone's image. So I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to hit insert. Now watch what happens. This is really cool. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Now we're going to leave this the way it is. And what I want to do, I'm going to save this PowerPoint presentation. So I'm going to go to File in the upper left corner of my screen. And I'm going to go to Save because it's the first time we're saving it. I'm going to save it in my PowerPoint folder. And I'm going to name it Claytor Family Photo Album. I'm going to hit Save. Now I already named it before. Other than that, you won't get this little pop-up. I'm going to just tell it to replace it. All right, now that if you look in the top, let me click away. In the title bar, which is at the very top middle of our screen, it says Claytor Family Photo Album. Now what we want to do, we want to do a print preview of this because we want to make some changes to it. If we go to File in the upper left corner of our screen, and then we're going to go down to Print. Now in the second column, we're going to go underneath Slides where it says Full Page Slides. We're going to click that down arrow, and what we want to do is go to the handout section and we're going to do 2 slides. So now we have our images, and we have 2 images on each sheet. Now a couple things we want to remove from here. We want to remove these frames going around our slide, and we also want to remove the date or maybe change it to 2022. And then also at the bottom right, we want to remove the page number. Now, in order to remove the lines going around your frame of your slide, we have to go back to the second column underneath Slides, and where it says 2 slides, we're going to click that down arrow and we're going to click on Frame Slide. So now as you see, it is gone on the right side of our screen and you can scroll. So this is perfect. Now the other thing that we want to do, we want to remove today's date, and then down here at the bottom, the number of the page. In order to do that, we're going to go to our upper left corner of our screen and we're going to click on the back button. Now we're going to go to our View tab. Once we go to our View tab, to the left, we are going to our Master Views. So we're going to click on Handout Master. And once we do that, you see over here in the upper right corner where it has the date, you can put whatever you want there. I'm just going to select that. I'm just going to put 2022. And then down here at the bottom on the right side, it has that pound, which means number. I'm just going to select that, and I'm going to just press my delete key so that it will take that away. Now what we're going to do is go up here to where it says Close Master View. And we're going to go back to our print preview. Another way to get there is on your keyboard, do Control P for print, and it'll take you to the same location. Now notice in that third column in our preview section, see how it says 2022? And when I scroll, 2022, and if you don't want that there, you can always make it blank, but we're going to leave that 2022 there for now. Now also, if you want to get out of this section, instead of clicking your back button, you can hit your escape key on your keyboard and it will take you out of the print section. Now what we want to do, we want to save this because we have made several changes to this. So I'm going to go to File and I'm going to go to Save. Now the other way we could have just saved this is we could have gone to our quick access toolbar and clicked on the disk that says Save, or we could do Control S on our keyboard and it will save it also. All right, I'm going to go over here to the right. I'm going to close this pane. Now, If we want to share this with other people that do not have PowerPoint on their machines, or they're unable to access it from their phone, we're going to change this to a PDF. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to File. In the first column, we're going to go to Save As, because we want to save this as a different file type. In the third column, I'm going to go to my folder. Now, if you want to save yours somewhere else, you can go to Browse, or you can go to one of these other folders. So I'm going to save mine to this folder. Now, when you look down to the bottom left side, you see File Name and then Save As Type. So we're going to click where it says PowerPoint Presentation. We're going to get a menu. We're actually going to choose PDF. Now, PDF stands for Portable Document Format. And the cool thing about that is just about anybody can open it on their phone, on any device. It is universal. Now, here's what we want to do. Before we hit save on the bottom right side, we need to make some changes to it. We have to go to the button that says Options, and we have to change the way it saves it. So down here where it says Publish Options, we want to click the down arrow for Slides, and we want to change it to a Handouts. Once we choose Handouts, over here to the right, we want to make sure that it says To. Now look at your image. Now this is what we had before. This is what we want to make sure we have. Now we're going to go ahead and click OK, and we're going to go ahead and click Save. Now mine, I've done this already, so it's asking me, do I want to save over it? Yes, I do. You may not get it because it may be your first time. Now give it a few moments. And now it's going to show us, and let me make this a little bit smaller so you can see. So each page has 2 images on it. Okay, let me close this. Now I'm going to do another save as PDF, because when we get into part 3, I want to be able to show you how to create what's called a flip book. Okay, so let me go to File. In the upper left corner, I'm going to go to Save As. I'm going to go over to PowerPoint folder. Down at the bottom where it says Save As Type, I'm going to click the down arrow. I'm going to choose PDF. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change the name of this. And let me hit my space. And I'm going to put Flip Book. Because I want this to save the images. I want this to save this as 1 image per sheet. And you'll see what I mean once we get there. And I'll hit save and give it a few moments. Okay, now see how it saves it as 1 slide. Okay, all right, let me close this. Okay, and let me save my work again, because I'm not sure if I made any changes. This completes part 1. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please join me for part 2, where we will merge calendars with our photo album. Until then, have an amazing day.